Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, though?
Okay, and I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone has had a good week and a good weekend ahead of you. Before the stream, thank you, Point Curation. I sent you something ridiculous. Hope you enjoy. I'm assuming you mean as far as MSS News and not to my physical address, because that would be creepier. But thank you, Point. Let's see. So I think that's okay. How are you guys? How are you, Satsu?
Pretty good. I chilled out with Monkey and played some World War Z this morning, and then hung out with Squishy, and now I'm hanging out with you guys.
All right. You're just a social butterfly today.
Indeed.
And Monkey, how are you?
Not too bad. How you doing, Scribbles?
Doing okay. Today was a relatively quiet day, but a little boring. But not in a bad way. Like, I mean, if nothing bad happens, it's just not eventful. It's not a bad day. Oh, there's that. Sure. Anyway, my store was out of my little mini cans of Dr. Pepper.
Uh-oh. Do you have to get real cans?
No, I settled for Coke.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, because they don't have like regular cans of, or they were out of the cans of Dr. Pepper, I should say, whether it was mini or otherwise. They either had the giant 2-liter bottles, which I never buy, or they had those like half-liter, whatever, 18-ounce, whatever bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, when it comes, when a soda pop comes out of a plastic bottle, for some reason to me it doesn't taste the same. So I was just like, okay, I'll go for Coca-Cola. It's not awful. I don't hate Coca-Cola. I like Coca-Cola, but it's not Dr. Pepper. But if that's the worst thing I have to complain about, I'm probably doing okay. So otherwise, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already, and at least 2/3 of you have not, thereabouts. So I appreciate it if you did. And please share our stuff. All of us in one way or another have stuff to share insofar as YouTube videos. And I'm sure we have other things to share too, but that's personal. Anything? Are you guys streaming tonight?
This is Friday, yes. We'll be playing Borderlands.
Borderlands?
The remastered edition over on 2 cents plus. That's the number 2 cents plus. By the way, I need to say this on the show. It is CENTS, not SENSE.
You're seriously?
No, I had somebody ask me. I can't find the channel.
All right.
And they showed me how they spelled it. I was like, yeah, that's the wrong sense.
All right. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Bukkake is technically a baby shower.
Oh. Well, it's half a baby shower.
Okay, that doesn't help.
You need the eggs to have the full baby, so it's half a baby shower.
Anyway, anything else before we get into the wonderful world of the schnuzz?
I'm good.
Satsu?
I just found some fucketry, but we'll get to that later.
Yes, for Matt. Okay, well, today's kind of a potpourri day. So, who shall be today's Vanna White? Satsu or Monkey? If you want Monkey to be the Vanna White, press 1. If you want Satsu to be the Vanna White, press 2. I'll wait for your responses and we'll see what we get. Let's see. I'll also give a programming note for everybody. Tomorrow we will not be on Monkey's channel per usual. We'll be on Satsu's channel for his birthday. And then on Monday we will be on Monkey's channel rather than Satsu's, because that is Monkey's birthday. So each one of them can have their day for broadcasting. Let's see. We got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Check your logic. You don't count anymore. 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. I see a lot more 2s than I see 1s. So Satsu, you are the Vanna White
That's racist, but okay.
He's Vanna Black, yo.
Vanna Black. There you go. Vanna Black. So, Satsu, your categories are Mexican troops, Elizabeth impeachment, bad look for Obama, or 14-year-old murderers.
You caught me with the 14-year-old murderers.
All right. 2 14-year-old girls drew up plans to kill 9 people.
Yikes.
2 14-year-old girls in Florida, surprise, surprise, have been arrested after a teacher discovered their plans to kill 9 people, sheriff's reports say. The Highlands County School Board confirmed in a statement to CNN that 2 Avon Park Middle School students were taken into custody Wednesday for, quote, a possible plan to harm others off campus, but declined to offer additional details, citing the ongoing investigation. Avon Park is about 80 miles south of Orlando. Excuse me. A teacher saw the 2 girls acting hysterical while they searched for a folder in her classroom, according to the girls' arrest reports from the Highland County Sheriff's Office. The girls were concerned that they could be arrested, the teacher told police, and one of them said, quote, I'm just going to tell them it's a prank if they call me or if they find it, unquote. The teacher found the folder and a letter inside that mentioned guns, the arrest report said. Inside were 8 pieces of paper. They contained written plans to obtain guns, kill 9 people, and remove and dispose of the bodies. Each girl faces 9 counts of conspiracy to commit murder and 3 counts of conspiracy to commit kidnapping.
Dear Lord.
Oh, okay. All right.
How old were they?
2 14-year-olds. Now, I don't care about their gender, even if it was 2 14-year-old boys. If they didn't actually do anything, I don't know. What is this? Does this sound reasonable? Sounds like 2 kids that need therapy more than they need like 20 years in juvie or something.
Well, in this day and age, can you really take that chance? I mean, if we were 40 years ago, maybe I don't know. They definitely need therapy, sure, but how far along did they get in their plans?
I guess. I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. One of those things. I wouldn't prosecute them as adults, let's just say.
Yeah, I wouldn't prosecute them as adults, probably not. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want to be the person who was really light on the next school shooter, you know what I mean? You find this stuff and like, oh, well, they're just a little disturbed. We'll get them some help, and the next thing you know, they shoot up the school. So I understand the
prosecute them for what they didn't do, but yeah.
I mean, it's still conspiracy.
I know. Just like 14-year-olds. I don't know. I knew some fucked up kids when I was a kid. You know, they did some pretty shitty things. I knew a kid that committed arson. He went on to become a surgeon. You know, it's just like, ruin their lives or send them away to adult prison forever because they did something crazy when they were super young. Anyway, so that's a thing. Satsu, you have remaining Mexican troops, Warren impeachment, and bad look for Obama.
Let's do Mexican troops.
Armed Mexican troops question American soldiers on U.S. side of the border.
What?
I know. 2 U.S. soldiers were questioned by Mexican troops earlier this month while conducting a surveillance operation on the U.S. side of the southern border, 2 U.S. defense officials tell CNN. Quote, on April 13th, 2019, at approximately 2 p.m. Central Time, 5 to 6 Mexican military personnel questioned 2 U.S. Army soldiers who were conducting border support operations in an unmarked vehicle near the southwest border in the vicinity of Clint, Texas. The U.S. soldiers were appropriately in U.S. territory during the encounter, the statement added. During the incident, the Mexican soldiers pointed their weapons at the U.S. troops, removing a soldier's sidearm and returning it to the unmarked U.S. vehicle. The Mexican troops were armed with what appeared to be assault rifles. Officials said the U.S. soldiers allowed the weapon to be taken, quote, in an attempt to de-escalate a potential volatile situation. unquote. Quote, throughout the incident, the U.S. soldiers followed all established procedures and protocols, unquote, Northern Command said. The encounter took place south of the border fence in the area, but north of the Rio Grande River. However, the official said the river in that area consists of brush-filled and dried-out riverbed, making it, quote-unquote, very easy for people to be confused as to what side of the border they are on. One of the American soldiers spoke some Spanish and was able to explain the situation to the Mexican forces. The two sides talked the incident over and promised to deconflict in the future, the official said. Deconflict, okay. Not familiar with that phrase, but I'm sure it's accurate somehow. Of course, this is CNN. Quote, an inquiry by Customs and Border Patrol and the Department of Defense revealed that the Mexican military members believed that the U.S. Army soldiers were south of the border. Though they were south of the border fence, U.S. soldiers remained in U.S. territory north of the actual border. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that happened. So it looks like it was an honest mistake. Let's see. I missed a super chat. Way up here. No, wait. Oh, no, it just jumped up at the bottom. Thank you, Connor Johnson. Have you seen the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? It's one of my favorite movies from the 1960s, and it's turning 50 this year. I saw it many moons ago. As one of those classics. I only remember the ending, of course. You know, the freeze frame, etc. It's been a long time since I've watched that. I should probably watch it again sometime. Hey, we could do that on movies you should have watched.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I'd have to get a copy. I don't have a copy of that one. I still have a copy of Don Juan DeMarco that I haven't watched yet, though. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah, so an international incident, but an accidental one, looks like.
Okay, accidental, blah, blah, blah. They knew they were U.S. troops?
Presumably. Well, or at least they looked like U.S. troops. I mean, somebody could be person.
All right.
Could be militia guys pretending to be U.S. troops. Who knows? Okay, you have remaining, Satsu. Warren impeachment and bad look for Obama.
Let's do a bad look for Obama.
All right, this is an opinion piece at CNN by Scott Jennings, a former special assistant to President George W. Bush and former campaign advisor to Senator Mitch McConnell. Aha. So the headline is, Mueller's report looks bad for Obama. The partisan warfare over the Mueller report will rage, but one thing cannot be denied. Former President Barack Obama looks just plain bad. On his watch, the Russians meddled in our democracy while his administration did nothing about it. The Mueller report flatly states that Russia began interfering in American democracy in 2014. Over the next couple of years, the effort blossomed into a robust attempt to interfere in our 2016 presidential election. The Obama administration knew this was going on and yet did nothing. In 2016, Obama's national security advisor, Susan Rice, told her staff to quote-unquote stand down and quote-unquote knock it off as they drew up plans to quote-unquote strike back against the Russians, according to an account from Michael Isikoff and David Corns in their new book, Russian Roulette, The Inside Story of Putin's War on America and the Election of Donald Trump. Boy, that's a mouthful. Why did Obama go soft on Russia? My opinion, the author I mean, is that it was because he was singularly focused on the nuclear deal with Iran. Obama wanted Putin in the deal, and to stand him up on election interference would have, in Obama's estimation, upset that negotiation. This turned out to be a disastrous policy decision. Obama's supporters claim he did stand up to Russia by deploying sanctions after the election to punish them for their actions. But Obama, according to the Washington Post, quote, approved a modest package with economic sanctions so narrowly targeted that even those who helped design them described their impact as largely symbolic, unquote. In other words, a toothless response to a serious incursion. But don't take my word for it that Obama failed. Congressman Adam Schiff, who disgraced himself in this process by claiming collusion when Mueller found that none exists, once said that, quote, the Obama administration should have done a lot more, unquote. Okay. The Washington Post reported that a senior Obama administration official said they, quote, sort of choked, unquote, in failing to stop the Russian government's brazen activities. And Obama's ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul, said, quote, the punishment did not fit the crime, unquote, about the weak sanctions rolled out after the 2016 election. It goes on for a bit, but that's the gist.
That's interesting.
I have nothing to
But
add
nobody
to
cares
that.
about that.
I'm glad I picked such deep discussion articles today. Okay, we'll move on to the last one. Maybe this will.
Well, that's why I saved this one for last, because I figured we'd have the most discussion about it.
I'll talk slowly.
Okay. Oh, you'll talk slowly.
Yeah, when I respond to whatever it is.
Okay. Elizabeth Warren says the House should start impeachment proceedings for Trump.
Yeah.
So basically, she's running on impeachment to a certain extent. Senator Elizabeth Warren called on the House of Representatives to begin impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump Friday. Quote, the Mueller report lays out facts showing that a hostile foreign government attacked our 2016 election to help Donald Trump, and Donald Trump welcomed that help. Wait. Elizabeth.
That's not
a crime. Once elected, Donald Trump obstructed the investigation into that attack. I agree he tried, but does attempted obstruction equate to obstruction?
Stop. No. He didn't obstruct justice into the investigation of that attack. It was into whether or not he was part of that attack, and that's different.
Yes, okay, that is true. But the whole question of his attempts at obstruction, it's like it's such a legal gray area because he did attempt to do things, but everybody he tried to get to do them for him said no, so nothing ever actually happened. So nothing was ever actually obstructed.
Sure, but the way she said it makes it sound like he was helping the Russians.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
He was helping the Russians again.
My mistake. Let's see. Mueller put the next step in the hands of Congress. Congress has authority to prohibit a president's corrupt use of his authority in order to protect the integrity of the administration of justice. The correct process for exercising that authority is impeachment, unquote. Prior to this week, Warren, like many other Democrats, had consistently said that she would first need to see the full report by special counsel Robert Mueller before drawing any conclusions on whether Congress should consider impeachment proceedings against the president. The question has been a divisive one for Democrats in Washington, with many in the party urging caution. Yeah, including Nancy Pelosi. So good luck, Senator, because you're kind of in that place where you don't have any leverage to make it happen. Do you know the numbers in the Senate, Senator Warren, by any chance?
Well,
I mean, it's a virtue signal, but I understand. Warren's call for impeachment proceedings could foreshadow other national Democrats, including additional presidential candidates, following suit in the coming days. I can't wait for Beto to come out and say, impeach him.
Oh, sure. Here's the thing. Elizabeth Warren is a sitting senator.
Mm-hmm.
As such, it is entirely improper for her to be calling for such things.
Do tell.
Well, if by chance the impeachment goes through in the House, which it probably would, the Senate is there to sit as a jury. Can you imagine getting on a jury when you were the one telling police somebody should be arrested?
Ah, okay. Interesting.
The senators in this case, all of them, no matter which side they're on, should be quiet right now. The other ones, like if Beto wanted to give his opinion, cool. Biden, no big deal. Even the people in the House, look, if you want to say, hey, we think this should happen, cool. But you're the jury, and you're telling us that you're already biased, no matter what the evidence is. Yeah, in my opinion, and they shouldn't be saying a fucking word yet.
Alrighty. Well, let me check and make sure that no other news stories have popped up recently. Let's see.
Beto will scream it from the countertops.
Yes.
Yes, he will. And the tree stumps and the back of cars.
Yeah, at the debate, do you think they'll pull out a fold-out table for him?
I hope so.
That'd be funny. Oh, sure, we'll do this one. Since we have extra time now. Are you protected from the measles? It may depend on when you were born. Well, I had my MMR booster about 2 or 3 years ago, so I think I'm decent myself. Because I remember there was a measles scare a couple of years ago as well. And I was just like, I'm probably due. So I just went to my local pharmacy and said, hey, do you have the MMR? And they're like, yeah. And I got it. I was done. So yay. And most insurance companies cover it completely if you have it, or some places just cover it as a matter of public health. So if you haven't, I would go check with your local pharmacy. You might be able to get it for free or cheap. Let's see. Nearly 2 decades after measles was declared eliminated in the United States, the country and the globe have seen an upsurge of cases, including adults who thought they were protected by the vaccine. Now some are questioning whether they are properly vaccinated and whether they are still at risk for getting the measles. In a video posted to YouTube last week, a rabbi in Detroit who said he was quote-unquote fully vaccinated nevertheless came down with measles, quote, a brutal 3 weeks, he said. In another recent case, an Israeli flight attendant has been unable to breathe on her own after experiencing a dire complication of measles, inflammation, and swelling of the brain, called encephalitis. Health authorities believe she also received a vaccine. Quote, it's just so darn contagious, and the way that people travel nowadays, it just doesn't really take much for it to spread, said Dr. John Cullen, the current president of the American Academy of Family Physicians and a family physician in Valdez, Alaska. Quote, I have never seen a case of the measles, he added, but it's just a matter of time. Adding to the uncertainty, some adults simply don't know their vaccination status or have long lost their documentation, Cullen said. The history of the measles vaccine has also prompted questions about how people of different ages have been vaccinated. Not only has the recommended number of doses changed over the years, but so has the vaccine itself. Several years ago, he recalled, a case of measles popped up in Fairbanks, Alaska, the state's first case in years. Worried about having been exposed and uncertain about whether they were properly vaccinated, patients of his who had traveled there asked for a dose of the vaccine just in case. When given within 3 days of exposure to the virus, the vaccine may offer some protection or make the illness milder, according to health officials. Although Alaska hasn't seen any cases this year, health officials issued an alert following a declaration of emergency in nearby Washington state, which has confirmed dozens of cases in 2019. Quote, if we see a substantial increase in the number of infections of measles, then there's going to be a whole lot more people who are going to be wondering what their vaccine status is, he said. Doctors recommend 2 doses of the MMR vaccine, so-called because it covers measles, mumps, and rubella. Doctors give the first dose between 12 and 15 months, the second between 4 to 6 years. The current recommendation was issued in 1989 by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Prior to that, a single-dose recommendation had been in place from 1963. Before we had a vaccine, the agency says 3 million to 4 million Americans were infected yearly, including 48,000 hospitalizations and 400 to 500 deaths. In some recent years, there have been fewer than 100 cases nationwide, but the virus has made a comeback in other years, including 2019, largely due to anti-vaxxers, experts say.
Good job, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job being morons. Okay, so here we go. If you were vaccinated with 2 doses, in line with the latest guidelines from 1989, the CDC says you have a 97% chance of being protected against measles. And if that last few percent happen to come into contact with the virus, they're less likely to spread it to others, and their illness is often milder. 1 dose is still about 93% effective at preventing the disease. Quote, most virologists only dream of a solution as successful as today's measles vaccine, CDC's principal deputy director, Dr. Ann Shout, wrote in 2015. Quote, success can breed complacency, skepticism, or even attack, she added. The second dose, however, is not a booster per se. In research studies, nearly everyone developed signs of immunity to measles after 1 dose, and the vast majority of And the vast majority of the time, this immunity is lifelong, experts say. Quote, that was in the clinical trials where everything was managed very, very tightly, said Dr. William Schaffner, an infectious disease specialist at the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. But out in the real world, despite major gains against the virus, health experts were still finding measles outbreaks among kids and adolescents who had supposedly been vaccinated with one dose. A second dose seemed to do the trick, but the question remained, why had the vaccine failed the first time around? You already told us, because the vaccine has changed over time. So anyway, short version is, everybody out there, if you can't remember when you had your last vaccine for it, go get it. Doesn't hurt. It's fine.
Nah, just get the disease and spread it and help destroy society.
Thank you, Blind
zombie apocalypse.
Thank you, Blind Press. Pincalo and I are getting our boosters to be safe. Good job. Do that. In fact, if your pharmacy or doctor offers vaccines for, well, just about anything, you might as well get them. Whether it's, I think you can get vaccines for hepatitis B, I think, and meningitis and a whole bunch of things. So I'd say if you're in your mid-20s or higher, you might as well. It doesn't hurt. I mean, obviously check with your doctor first to make sure that there's no any problems or anything or conflicts. And obviously you don't get too many vaccines all at once. You get them over the course of months or something, but you might as well. And so there you go with that.
Indeed. Yeah. Good job, anti-vaxxers, that a disease that was basically wiped out, like 4 cases a decade. And now, yeah, good job.
Yeah, I really hope that this situation reminds people of the importance of being vaccinated for anything that we can and know we can vaccinate for. Just get it done, and especially get your kids taken care of. I don't understand the mentality that says we've stopped a disease from spreading in the past. Let's just sit back and let it happen. It's not like the vaccines killed the disease in the world. I think that's maybe the misconception people have. It's like, if everybody gets vaccinated for smallpox, well, obviously smallpox is now defeated. No, it's just that you're protected against it. It's still floating out there somewhere, and it can come roaring back if you're not careful. You just, anyway. So.
And all because a disgraced doctor said vaccines are bad, and a whole bunch of fucking Hollywood stars went, yeah, they might be bad.
God, that guy, Jenny McCarthy, and Jim Carrey. Those 3 people, I mean, there are a bunch of others as well, but those 3 people in particular. There's a great little documentary on Frontline. PBS Frontline did several years ago about I think it was called like the vaccine question or something like that. And they interviewed Wakefield, the doctor that was the force behind this, as well as Jenny McCarthy, as well as Jim Carrey, or at least showed clips of interviews from them. And also organizations that promote anti-vaxxing. I mean, back then when I watched it, I thought it was kooky. Today, it's even more ridiculous to watch, given what we know now and the results of it. Because the doctors they interviewed in that documentary were talking about this very thing. It's like there's this culture in like Oregon that says, oh, we can't vaccinate our kids. We don't need to. My kid's healthy. I don't want to give them autism or something, whatever. But the doctors are like, yeah, these diseases are still out there and they will come back if we are not careful. And here we are. So anyway, that being the case, guys, speaking of diseases, let's go on to MSS News.
Speaking of diseases?
Stupid in the world.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. I don't know.
That was called y'all diseases.
No, the stories that we get.
Not what I heard.
No, I said MSS News, not our audience. News is a disease. Shut up. It was a bad segue.
It was a bad segue. Guys, I don't think your disease Scribe does.
Oh, shut up.
Speaking of horrible segue.
Shut up. Anyway, guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but I will do my best. That's all I can promise you. So that being the case, let me get in here and then take off the filter that Twitter always applies no matter whether I want it to or not. And then my phone beeps at me because it's that time of the evening, and now I get to find out if I'm staying on the show or not. The survey says...
I love you too.
Yes, I love you too,
Maybe.
Monkey. I love you too, Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one comes from Massive Dynamics, and Satsu might like this one. Zombie movie actor allegedly beat 2 women and made one taste his blood.
What, did she
Why
make a
would I like
sandwich
this?
wrong?
Well, because it's about zombies, ostensibly. You like
He's
zombies.
got bad segues today and stuff.
Oh, shut
I
up!
love zombies,
Shut up!
but I still don't like women beating zombies.
I was talking about the zombie part.
Satsu, you like this
Okay.
story about women's beating.
Oh, my God. A Georgia man known for producing and acting in a pair of zombie movies was arrested last week and accused of physically assaulting 2 women, including shoving his hand into one's mouth so she could taste his blood. Okay. Elliot Ryan Rutledge, 30, was charged with felony aggravated assault and false imprisonment, as well as misdemeanor battery, simple battery, and disorderly conduct. Investigators said Rutledge trapped a woman in his home in August of 2018 by blocking the exits, then punched, poked, and elbowed her. The documents claim Rutledge attacked the same woman at his home between June 2017 and October 2018. Maybe she should have stayed away from his home all the same. But anyway, on one occasion, he allegedly, quote, choked the victim, picked her up by the neck, slammed her into the front yard of his home, and continued to choke her once she was on the ground. In January of this year, investigators said Rutledge choked and bit a second woman, causing bruises and severe lacerations. Less than 2 weeks later, Rutledge allegedly cut his fingers before shoving them into his alleged victim's mouth. 2 weeks after beating the crap out of her? What? I'm confused. He was being held without bond at the Floyd County Jail in Rome, about 70 miles northwest of Atlanta. IMDb.com credited Rutledge with producing and acting in the 2017 short films Gangsters and Zombies and Gangsters and Zombies 2.
Gangsters and zombies?
Gangsters and Zombies.
Oh, wait. Did they spell it with a hard R?
ER. Gangsters and Zombies. So I don't know if that means like Al Capone versus the undead. But yeah, IMDb.com, Gangsters and Zombies. And is a word, not the ampersand. And then Gangsters and Zombies too. So if either one of you want to look up those cinematic classics and tell us anything interesting about them, by all means. In the meantime, I will move on. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Eric Swalwell, I don't know who that is, taunts NRA that they won't debate him. Dana Lash nails him. Whoa.
He's,
Yep.
Isn't he a representative? I actually saw that tweet not long ago. Hang on.
Well, Dana
Keep
Lash,
going, I'm sorry.
Dana Lash nails him. Quote, I'm your Huckleberry. I love it.
Go Dana.
That's great. On Tuesday, Democratic presidential candidate Representative Eric Swalwell took aim at the NRA, taunting them that they wouldn't debate him. But NRA spokeswoman Dana Lash has had a swift and blistering response, quoting from Val Kilmer's Immortal performance as Doc Holliday in the film Tombstone, and firing back, I'm your Huckleberry. Swalwell was responding to Lash, pointing out that Swalwell had, quote, dodged legitimate questions about his gun confiscation and jail policy for quite some time. Prior to that salvo, she had stated, quote, you said you would jail law-abiding gun owners if they didn't turn in their lawfully owned firearms. How do you plan to confiscate guns? Unquote. And I got to scroll down. Swalwell responded, quote, Miss Lash, I see you've spent another day blowing up my Twitter. Thank you for following, but here's the deal. You're an NRA mouthpiece. I don't aim down, so I don't debate mouthpieces, but send me your president, Oliver North. I'll debate him anywhere, unquote. Eric, Oliver North would wipe the floor with you. For everything else that I might think about Oliver North as a person with integrity, He's not a dumb guy. He's got a lot more years on him than you do.
And do you like what I've seen most about this tweet online is people going, that's kind of sexist. Why won't you debate the woman?
Oh, I see.
Which, by the way, is not actually a fair.
Right. Well, he called her a mouthpiece. That's obviously sexually twinged monkey.
Well, her actual tweet says, I'm your huckleberry unless you're afraid to lose, which is great.
Mm.
But yeah, he didn't actually say it because, you're a woman. But, I mean, come on. That doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, Eric. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, this has been blowing up for the last couple of days, actually. I happen to follow Dana, so I've seen a lot of this. And, yeah, they're basically asking him, how are you going to confiscate people's guns and it not be a criminal thing?
Mm-hmm.
And people still be allowed to keep their guns? Because he's trying to do that thing that a lot of anti-gun folks do. We're going to take your guns, but we're not going to take your guns.
Yeah, except the difference being that he's running for president, so that's conceivably now part of his platform. Or you could attribute it to him as part of his platform because he's made that statement. So he's going to be legitimately questioned on it between now and forever because that's a pretty extreme thing to say when you're going to be president of the United States who is supposed to uphold the Constitution. And the Second Amendment, whether you like it or not, is a part of the Constitution. So, yeah.
Yeah, I wish he'd not puss out and go up there and get his... Because Dana Lash, she knows her shit. Whether you agree with her or not, but she knows her shit. And she gets in some trouble sometimes when she gets out of the gun range, so to speak.
The gun range.
But when she's not talking about guns and stuff, then she tends to sometimes make an ass of herself. Yeah. But when it comes to the gun part of it, she knows what she's talking about. So, Eric, don't be a bitch, man.
Thank you, Cryptic. Try it and blood will shed on the streets. Yeah, well, he's not going to. He's talking shit. But, again, he's running for president, so he's made it fair game to press him on it. So we'll see. We'll see if it comes up at the debates or something. This one comes from, let's see, make sure I didn't did that one. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Cops look for naked Florida man who stole from Little League. Okay, I know I have seen this city name before. And I know that I have mispronounced it before. And I know I've been corrected in chat for mispronouncing it before. I'm going to attempt it again. I warn I will probably fuck it up. Dunedin. 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 Florida. Authorities in Florida are asking for the public's help in tracking down a man who they say burglarized a Little League concession stand wearing nothing more than a ball cap and gloves. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office says the naked burglar struck the stand at Fisher Field in Dunedin almost 2 weeks ago. Deputies say the burglar stole cameras and a cash box with $250 inside, and he caused $5,000 in damage. And there's surveillance photos of at least him from the shoulders up. Yeah, so weirdo, thief.
Naked man.
Especially Little League. I mean, stealing from kids. Come on.
Don't be naked anywhere near Little League stuff. I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Let's see. This one comes from Trucking with a Tablet. As long as you're not using your tablet while you're driving your truck, because I think that's illegal in most places. But, and I think this is also a story that Frosted Glass sent us. People are pooping more than ever on the streets of San Francisco. More.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you guys see? I haven't confirmed if it was real yet. I'll need to look. But there was a Sean King tweet to this. And he said, funny, the only people complaining about shit on the streets are white rich people. Another part of white privilege. And I'm like,
for real?
What?
White privilege is complaining about shit in the streets. Okay.
I'm just like,
So non-white
Where the
people
fuck are you
are
here?
happy about shit in the streets. They like it. What?
They love it.
They love it. One of America's wealthiest cities has a huge problem with public poop. Between 2011 and 2018, San Francisco experienced a massive increase in reported incidents of human feces found on public streets. In 2011, just over 5,500 reports were logged by the San Francisco Department of Public Works. In 2018, the number increased. Okay, so it was 5,500 in 2011. Can you guys guess the number in 2018?
10,000.
Satsu?
30,000.
Closest, well, I guess to say closest without going over would be Monkey, but closest in general is Satsu, 28,000.
28,000. And that's just people reporting it.
Right, reporting it, those that have been found.
That's disgusting.
The government watchdog Open the Books documented the sharp increase over time in a stunning chart first spotted by the BuzzFeed editor John Paskowski. Probably mispronouncing that too. Yeah, and there I'll put the link in the chat in case people want to look at that chart because that is quite amazing. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Most ELDs are an app on a tablet. I don't know what an ELD is. I'm guessing electronic lock device or something. I mean, we talked about those things when I interviewed Diesel Dave and Eric Hammer, but I'm assuming that's what it is. Let's see. I'll go back to the story. Notably, this is a chart of only documented reports, right? The actual amount of feces in San Francisco streets is likely even higher than these statistics suggest. Quote, I will say there is more feces on the sidewalks than I've ever seen growing up here. San Francisco Mayor London Breed. London Breed. That is an amazing name. I didn't know the San Francisco mayor. Okay. Quote, that is a huge problem, and we're not just talking about from dogs, we're talking about from humans. This is disgusting. Yeah, don't go to San Francisco.
Where do you expect the illegals to poop?
Was that Monkey or was that me?
Oh, am I roboting?
Satsu?
I didn't really hear any roboting.
Well, he wasn't roboting, he was breaking up.
No,
either.
then no.
It must have been just me then. Great. So if I start breaking up, let me know. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Again, electronic logging device. That's what it was. Yes. No, I understand. I understand that you guys have, pads. Or tablets. Pads, you might be if you're a female driver. But tablets, yes. I was just making a joke. I'm terrible at jokes and segues tonight. What do you want? What do you want from me? I don't know.
Good jokes and segues.
Shut up. Stop asking for the impossible.
Okie doke.
This one comes from Pinkala, the Driving Ape Man. If it'll come up. Let's see. I'm assuming this is a Canadian story. The old Scarborough double bluff. Man lures firefighters to park, then tries to steal their truck. I wonder how that worked out for him. A man is charged, obviously not very good, after claiming to be trapped on the Scarborough Bluffs and trying to steal a fire truck Friday morning. Officers said they responded to a call at 8:20 a.m. after a man claimed to be stranded on the Scarborough Bluffs and, due to the cold and rainy conditions, might need rescuing. When emergency crews arrived to the scene, they tried to look for the man, who did not provide an exact location in his call. A spokesperson for Toronto Fire Services said the firefighters were among the first responders. While they were searching for the man, they left one of their trucks running at the curb of Lyme Regis Cress, whatever that is. That's when the man climbed inside one of their unattended fire trucks and tried to take off. Toronto Fire Services spokesperson, that's okay, interesting way to construct this. And Toronto Fire Services spokesperson noted that, like, there's just one, I guess, unnamed, noted that their trucks don't operate like normal vehicles and don't have a traditional key to start moving. However, before he could drive anywhere, Toronto police apprehended him on the scene. Police have arrested Jermaine Nichols, 40, from Toronto, and charged him with attempted theft over $5,000 and failure to comply with a recognizance. I love legalese. Sad Boy says, Scribe Light! Hi, Sad Boy. I guess. Wait, was there a birthday? Or am I missing something here?
Not that I see, but
okay. I thought I saw somebody talking about someone turning an age or something. Okay. Anyway, moving on from that. This one comes from Mashisu. Wisconsin prison escapee found hiding in a baby crib.
What?
I guess there's always a hiding place. A prison escapee from Wisconsin was found Friday afternoon hiding in a baby crib in far south suburban Steger, Steger, according to police. Trezell Bishop, 27, of Janesville, Wisconsin, was taken into custody without incident after Steger police found him in a baby crib at a home on the 3700 block of Green Street. Bishop, reported by authorities as being 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing 150 pounds, was hiding in the crib with items piled on top of him.
What was on top of him?
I'm assuming blankies and animals and things. I'm just more impressed by the structural integrity of the baby crib.
Yeah, no shit. I'm just wondering how he fit in there if there was other stuff.
Let's see. Let's see.
Cribs aren't that big.
No, not that big, and they're usually not able to carry that much weight. But hey, maybe it was a metal crib or something. Let's see. What's this? It's not a story. We already read that story. So, yeah, David Schoen or Jedi Ghost Bear sent us the Obama looks bad story. So thank you for that. John Migda sends us this one, if it'll give me the story and not the picture associated with it. Foot fetish fans can buy silicone feet with built-in vaginas to simulate foot sex.
What? No.
Oh, we live in an amazing age. Okay, so imagine this, if you will, for those of you that can't see this. Imagine a pair of feet, side by side, cut off at the ankles, and at the stump of each ankle, inserted therein, is a vagina.
Vagina feet.
So basically, 2 fleshlights put side by side,
toes?
but they have toes. Yeah.
They're flesh feet.
From BDSM to threesomes, many people have fetishes that they'd love to fulfill. Oh, you're telling me.
There you go.
Now,
folks.
a sex robot firm is helping people with foot fetishes to achieve their fantasies.
But is that really what they want, to fuck the severed ankle?
Here's the name of the company doing this. Silicon Wives.
Oh, dear Christ.
Silicon Wives has launched silicone sex robot feet with built-in vaginas, which allow people to simulate foot sex. Wait a sec. Okay. You can't simulate. That's not how foot sex works.
This is probably arguably better.
I personally don't have a foot fetish like that, but I have seen it done before in like porn and things. And it's when a woman or a man, I suppose, just takes their feet and encircles them either side of, the penis or whatever, and just strokes it with their feet. You're not cutting off your partner's foot and fucking the stump.
Yeah. It's like a hand job with 2 feet.
Exactly.
This is weird.
This is very weird. Silicon Wives explains, quote, the realistic silicone feet with vaginas are perfect for the feet lovers out there that still want a traditional sex toy experience.
Traditional sex toy experience. There's a sentence you won't hear very often.
That's just something with a vagina. It just looks like a foot, and that's super weird, but to each their fucking own.
Okay, my stream page is completely crashed, so I can't see any chat, and I don't know if I can be heard right now.
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, I can't see anybody's anything right now, so I'm going to try to refresh the page. I don't know if my internet's dying or YouTube is having a crash or something. So.
Okay, while you're doing that, I just want to read one line from the story.
Mm-hmm.
The product is handcrafted with premium medical grade silicone to provide an ultra realistic sex experience. There's nothing ultra realistic about silicone in your sex. And that is actually the very definition of what's the word? Not authentic, but fake. Fake's the word I'm looking for.
The one thing I don't get when it comes to people's reaction to this story is basically these stories are saying that creep that's asking you to do those creepy things is now going to be able to do his own thing at home in his own privacy and is going to leave you the fuck alone. And they're like, this is outrageous. Why would they make something like this? And it's like, let those creeps do their creepy shit at home. You should be happy that they have a distraction. They don't have to actually go and court real women for this weird shit. They can satisfy themselves on their own.
Here's where you're wrong, Satsu, because a foot job is what Scribe described earlier.
That's true.
It's a woman taking her feet and jacking you off with it.
Right.
This is 2 feet that have vaginas into the ankles. Mm-hmm. So what this is going to do is it's going to make some weirdo out there go cut off women's feet and fuck them.
Thank you, Non-Vitae Rex. Fetishes. That's a funny way to spell degeneracy. Fires force lightning bolts. Look, there are, everybody's got fetishes of one kind or another. They can be very extreme. They can be very light. It can be something like, I knew a girl who like her biggest turn on was just nibbling on her earlobe. She didn't have anything else that was quote unquote weird or out of the ordinary, but that was the one thing that sort of like was her erogenous zone. And then some people like to have their dick stroked by feet. And I suppose some people now are going to be conditioned to want to fuck a stump.
Stump fuckers unite.
Stump fuckers incorporated. Okay. Anyway, from that 9 Inch Nails reference, we're going to do this last one here from Dragon Mage before we move on to YouTube time. Kentucky finally outlaws. What do you think they just finally outlawed? Guesses? Monkey?
Marrying your sister.
Okay, Satsu.
Fucking animals.
Satsu, you win 1 billion nothings. Bestiality has been outlawed in Kentucky finally.
How did I know?
It is now illegal to have sex with animals in Kentucky. Governor Matt Bevin signed Senate Bill 67, just too short, into law Tuesday. It had passed unanimously in committee. I would have been really interested to know if it hadn't. House and Senate votes during the legislative session. As of last year, Hawaii, New Mexico, West Virginia, and Wyoming were the only states remaining that had not outlawed bestiality.
But what? Okay, look. What if she's giving you those doe eyes?
Oh, a deer, a female deer?
And then you hear some Barry White playing in the background.
Oh, doe eyes.
Come here, baby. And she's like, I got your salt lick right here.
What about those puppy dog eyes?
Nah,
and then she kicks you in the skull and kills you instantly.
hey. And don't kill you instantly. It just makes you retarded like your cousin Fred.
Oh, and like a Persona character in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that shortly.
Why are there still 4 states where this is now outlawed?
Yeah, I mean, maybe people didn't think it needed to be said in all those other states, but
it's really, West Virginia. One of those is West Virginia. Damn well it needs said and loud.
It needs to be said. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. I know I didn't get to all of them, but, sometimes, I have bad segues and bad jokes. So moving on to other.
Hey, real quick. For the record, it was only a bad segue because you insulted our entire audience.
I insulted the stories, not the audience.
That's not how it came off.
That's not what I meant, okay? That's not what I said. I didn't say to the audience. I said about the stories. You were basically saying, look, hey, speaking of retards, you guys can send us stories over here. And I realize I'm paraphrasing, but you are very much paraphrasing. I didn't say retards. That's how I remember it. Oh, well, I'm glad because you have a memory like a steel trap. So yeah. Okay. Oh, you're gonna go there, are you? You go there all the time, or do you forget that? I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. YouTube time. So I'm going to rest my vocal cords for a minute or three. Satsu, what did you do today?
Stuff.
He did stuff.
You're no help at all. You know that?
No, I did I got just a little bit of editing done. Well, I guess I can't call it editing. I got all of my stuff together for the videos that I'll be editing down the line. My next meal is down the pipeline. I'm gonna be making collard greens, fried chicken, and something else. I can't remember. I think it was mashed potatoes. Yeah. I believe that was what I was going for. We'll see what that third item is, if that stays the same. But I'm also making a plan to resurrect the original cooking videos on my Satsu 2 Cents channel and kind of bring those up to date, if you will. So that'll be fun. Outside of that, streaming, trying to get some of that PewDiePie money over on D Live. But Senpai won't notice me. You know, that stuff.
All right.
I have the hiccups, damn it.
Monkey.
Well, this is the third time Dave got the hiccups. I'll do my best to get through it. Oh, man. Let's see. I did a monkey in the morning, and then I streamed with Satsu for about 4 hours earlier today. Oh, God damn it. I didn't even realize it. You know what I didn't do today?
Take your pills.
Insult our audience. But guys,
you know what? You can go fuck right off. You know that?
I probably could, but I don't have those feet things. Or any animals. So, God damn it. Don't forget, guys, after this, we'll be over on 2 Cents Plus playing. We're getting really close to the end. I'm so sorry. I'm fucking hiccuping over here. The end of Borderlands, the original. Oh, God, motherfucker. And then tomorrow, we're not on my channel. We are on Satsu's channel for his birthday.
Yes.
My birthday.
Birthday, Satsu. So, yeah, that's
my
all.
birthday.
Excuse me. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, drink some water or something and try to get rid of the hiccups.
I'm trying.
Let's see. So I posted a new video today. It is another exploration into the wonderful world of corporate diversity and inclusion programs. So I have to make a correction. This was the video I was talking about the other day that had 118,000 likes, or sorry, 118,000 views, and only like 2 comments and about 10 likes and dislikes. It was actually posted in January of this year. I thought it was much more recent than that, but all the same, I thought that's still a lot of views without a whole lot of response. But like you guys said, maybe it was a redirect from Twitter or something. So anyway, it is, or I should say was, which is really bizarre, the Senior Vice President of Global Solutions or something at LinkedIn, telling us about a revelation he had several years ago that spurred him on to changing the corporate culture at LinkedIn to try to ensure a more diverse team, as it were. This was one of those videos where, see, I like speakers who know what they're saying and can be concise about it because it makes for easier places to make a comment. But this guy was like a used car salesman. At certain points, and anybody who watches the video, you'll notice this, and I felt kind of uncomfortable with having him go on as long as he did, but the problem is he never stopped talking. And I'm always really hesitant to cut anything out of a video on the off chance I'm taking somebody out of context. But his point in one instance was so rapid fire, continuous, and interconnected with each following sentence that I couldn't find a easy place to sort of like break and say that was the end of his point to move on to the next one. So that was a little awkward, but hey, it happens from time to time. Anyway, he basically told us that he was shamed into realizing that he had too many men on a stage at a company event because those were the men that were running all of the departments of the company. And that was a problem, pointed out to him by a female member of his team, apparently. I have a feeling that his shame comes more from her filing some sort of complaint against him as well. but I didn't want to make any assumptions in the video. It just seemed like his reaction was a bit overmuch for someone just sort of pointing that out. Anyway, I kept waiting for him to tell us how he solved his diversity problem, since men are apparently not diverse as a nature of being men. And you know what their first step was towards moving towards diversity? Forming a female-only advisory group.
Oh, something that's all one thing. It's very diverse.
I know. Thank you, Midnight in Exile. You got to learn about Elise Y. Cross. She started this all Frankfurt School Associated. Started what?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Monkey's Hiccups?
Yes, that bitch.
The Frankfurt School. Yeah, I've heard different things about the Frankfurt School over years. I need a bit more context as to what you mean. Are you talking about the diversity initiative and all that? I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, he goes, yeah, so first you had to form an all-female group. Then he talked about, so this was the weirdest part. I'm still not quite clear, and I say this in the video. He says, and I'm paraphrasing, that one of the problems they found was that they would tend to go with the first candidate for a job when they should have been taking more time to look deeper for other candidates or something like that. And so I was like, wait, so you can't be saying that the first person who applied for a job is the person you gave the job to. That doesn't make any sense. So you must be saying that out of a pool of initial candidates, you winnowed it down to one, as most hiring processes do. And did you then, if the person you ended up with didn't qualify as diverse, is that when you kept the job opening open until you found somebody who fit the bill? Is that what you mean? It's very weird. All this, I'm always fascinated, and this is one of the, I wanted to, anybody who's watched my videos for a while, I want to explain this if I hadn't before. I'm always fascinated by these diversity and inclusion corporate spiels, because I'm always waiting for them to get down to specifics. And they almost never do. It's always couched language. It's always very abstract notions of what they mean when they say they are implementing processes to achieve diversity. After they've defined diversity as, we don't want certain skin colors or genitals overpopulating our workforce, which inherently means you must be filtering for those things in your hiring process. Otherwise, what are you talking about? But I'm always waiting for them to say that explicitly. Almost never do they do that. It's always this beating around the bush language. And it's always interesting to me, because it's almost like, and no offense to anybody out there intended who is religious, but it's almost like religious dogma speak, trying to associate lessons from the holy book, whatever your holy book is, with scientific progress, like trying to sort of square that circle without actually saying what you mean. And I'm always curious as to how each one of these guys attempts to do that, because it's always different. Sometimes there's only one guy I found so far that actually was very, very blunt about what he was talking about. And that's a guy from Accenture. I always go back to that one video because it's the one and only time where somebody stood up on a stage. And I'm pretty sure it's because he was standing on a stage in Germany and he was an American, and he was pretty sure talking in code wouldn't translate. So he just laid it all out. It's so bizarre. But anyway, that's why I do that stuff. Anyway, new video's up there. It's a relatively short one as compared to my TEDx stuff. It's like 15 minutes. But yeah, so that's latest and greatest. The weird thing is that on the video itself, it says he's the former senior vice president. But on the LinkedIn website, it still has him listed as the senior vice president. So I'm not quite sure which is true. Very odd. Anyway, so there's that. And elsewise, on Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, I'll be interviewing Corey Suzuki, for Familiar with the Matter, regarding his experience surviving brain cancer, amongst other things. We'll see what we get in the discussion on that. So look forward to that. I just talked to him briefly today to do a sound check to make sure everything worked okay. And we're good to go. So now, fucketry. I have something. I know I said something clever and snarky today that got a lot of attention because that does happen from time to time. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I know I said something funny. Well, first off, there was a video clip today of Chris Cuomo talking to our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Cillizza. And Chris Cuomo starts this little segment by saying, I'm not going to let people say that CNN or the media or whatever have been creating a false narrative in relation to the Mueller report or the Russia investigation, I should say. And then I noted previously on Chris Cillizza at CNN, this may be the smoking gun in the Russia investigation, referring to the BuzzFeed article. Yeah, because there's no false narrative that's been put out there the entire time. Also, the Washington Post posted this today. Quote, we've seen Nora, the Catherine. I've actually seen the Josh, unquote. We need to talk about the bizarre trend of giving fancy apartments human names.
Okay.
And I said peak journalism. And lastly, this headline from the Washington Post, analysis. However you frame it, Mueller's report paints a damning portrait of Trump's presidency. And I said, as opposed to every contentious departure of a cabinet official, leaked grievance, Twitter gaffe, or clumsy contradiction in messaging from the White House in the last 2.5 years, only now is Trump's White House a portrait of the damned. Such hot, so much take. So that was my cleverness for today. Satsu, what do you got?
Okay, so speaking of the BuzzFeed article, somebody had put out a post that said, after 4 months, BuzzFeed has essentially retracted the infamous Michael Cohen story, which the entire media had the entire media melting down in a raging frenzy for 48 hours. Good start, I guess, but what now? Everybody just sits back and accepts the falsehood accepts that a falsehood was allowed to stand for 4 months. And basically what they did is that article now has an update on it that says the Mueller report found that Trump did not direct Michael Cohen to lie. And that's it. It's just a little update there. And my response to that was exactly, because whether it was true or not was always besides the point. Nobody who honestly reads BuzzFeed seriously cares if it was true or not. And that's because they don't. They literally did not care if it's true. Just like they don't care right now if the Mueller report that came out is saying whatever it is they want it to say, because they'll just tell their audience that it doesn't. And then that'll be the truth for the people who read it. So it's like it's not about the truth. Nobody gives a fuck about that, or very few people do at the very least. They just want their designated whatever group to tell them the things that they want to hear, so they can go tell it and yell it at other people who disagree with them. But whether or not it's true is irrelevant, because even if you came out and definitively proved it to be not true, that's not going to change anything. They're still going to push it and say that it's true, because there are people who are ignorant or just don't care. So I talked about that. Then I saw that Jeff Holiday had put out a post claiming that people keep saying that the left basically is running the media, the zeitgeist, the current zeitgeist or whatever. And he says that he doesn't understand why people still believe that it's true, because it's bullshit. And basically he was saying because of the religious background, like the right religious hold on the United States is much more prevalent, and as always, and will forever essentially be a more significant threat than anything that the left could or may be doing. And then he put a little snarky tweet up underneath that said, well, I know why you believe it, because some asshole on YouTube, on a YouTube video, told you that it was true. And I don't know why that annoyed me. I didn't comment on it. I'm just like, I mean, I guess we can pretend that, you know, literal giant multi-billion-dollar corporations aren't prostrating themselves, and that every article that we see coming out from almost every single direction has SJW undertones, even from the right. Like, not even specifically from the left, but identity politics and all that shit, that's coming from all directions now. It's not just a specifically leftist thing. Just that kind of social justice narrative has been prevalent. It is the number one thing we see in almost every source of media that's out there, but churches exist, so that's wrong. It's not true. We got to pretend like it doesn't exist, I guess. And like I said, I didn't comment on it. It just annoyed me. What do you guys think about that?
I saw that one. I didn't comment on it either because it's the same old nonsense. Yes, for a while, Republicans controlled all of Washington government. It didn't mean they controlled the narrative going on in the country. And they sure as hell weren't acting like they'd been voted in. I mean, we see it all the time as they get into office and then suddenly they turn around and they can't upset that apple cart because the news might say bad things about them. I mean, why didn't we get a wall already? Because it's not politically acceptable right now to vote for the wall, even though they controlled everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So stop pretending that just because, yes, they do hold some positions of power that's actually how the country is. Stop it. We know better.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of. Also, Kotaku is in full-blown apology mode because of that fucking dumbass article that they put out about the lyrics, and all of basically the entire cast of people who do the voices for the game, for Persona or whatever, they have been calling Kotaku out, like, publicly on Twitter. One of them said, I'm glad there was an apology, but the reasoning for not deleting the original article seems very thin. At least put the edit to the link on the top of the other article. Some people won't read the bottom. The original article piece is entirely false. And then she says, have a great day. And there's been other comments about it or whatever, but they put out an article after that literally definitively said that there's a fucking slur in this game. We know because we heard it. And then a follow-up saying, well, people say that that's not it, but we still think it is. And then they released an article that says we screwed up on the Persona lyric. Like 3 whole articles about this thing to exploit some bullshit that they created and made up to start some controversy that doesn't exist. And then, they put out some apology thing that nobody's going to really see compared to the original article.
They don't care as long as people click on all of the articles involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I made the joke on Twitter when they put out their apology. I said, good job, Kotaku. You are journalists, not investigators, taking your style guide tips from CNN. If they'd actually given a shit, they would have contacted either Nintendo or the Persona people or whatever to verify what the lyrics were before they said anything. But they didn't bother because they were just like, ooh, here we go. They don't give a shit. I don't even know what they were thinking when they did it, but except that we're going to get clickbait and everything else, and they're going to get more clickbait because doing something that's completely wrong and then publishing an apology, but keeping the wrong thing up regardless still gets them clicks. So they don't care.
And then I saw an update on the voice actor Vic Mignogna. I always fuck up his name. He is suing Funimation.
Yep.
Good.
After the fallout for the sexual misconduct bullshit. And that should be interesting. I'll be keeping my eye on that because they drug him through the fucking mud. And everybody's trying to kind of make amends, and they're re-inviting them back to shit or whatever. And then the people who started the bullshit are seriously backtracking and hoping that they don't get sued too. There's been all kinds of stuff going on with there. I wish I was following this story a little bit more, but I just a general update on that situation. So good on him and fuck them. I hope he wins. Yeah.
Okay.
Monkey.
Let's see. I know I had stuff here. No, I thought there we go. There's a lot of people cheering because Congress has decided there's a May 1st deadline for the subpoena of all of the stuff from the Mueller report, which means exactly shit, guys. It means exactly shit. They can subpoena anything they want. This is going to end up in front of a judge who's very likely going to go, no, sorry. So cheer all you want if you're for that stuff, but you're just making an ass of yourself. There's only two things I really wanted to talk about. There was Roosh V, our good old friend Roosh, who told us if you have butt sex with a woman, it probably means you're gay.
Mm-hmm.
Today, he told us when a female gets a tattoo, she's giving a permanent oath of fealty to the oligarchs and their hired managers. Her mind is controlled by their satanic inversions. Her body destined to be used and abused in exchange for pleasure and power. Her tattoo is the mark of the beast.
Wow, don't tell the Suicide Girls.
Yeah. Roosh, dude.
Okay, Roosh is. I think he actually has a mental illness at this point, or he's just.
He needs to get the air checked in his apartment, man, or maybe step outside once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Because if you look, I'm not the biggest fan of tattoos, but really,
I have 5.
well, you're probably the mark of the beast.
Yes, I do have.
If you had strange... 6, and that would be like 666 mark of the beast.
I do have very strange symbols on me that may be slightly non-Euclidean.
And then the one that really annoyed me today. This is my what the fuck have I woke up to Twitter thing this morning. There was a guy who tweeted out, I'm going to read what he wrote and then tell you what was in the tweet. He says, here we have another example of Sharia law being openly forced on the USA. We are told Muslim religion is peaceful, but it's not. Muslims are trying to take over the USA with Sharia law. Retweet if you think this is wrong. And then he attaches a video. It is a video of a cab driver who has put his prayer rug on the back of his cab and is praying.
Oh, for crying out loud.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
There's literally nothing being forced on anybody. This isn't, when people talk about Sharia law, it's not because some guy's going to pray 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dude minding his own goddamn business, praying on the back of his cab so he doesn't have to get on the New York streets because they're fucking disgusting. And as I read through the thread, I mean, part of it gives me hope because there's a whole bunch of people going, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? One guy goes, this is no different than the family next to me at Applebee's praying. I'm like, you're right. But there's so many like this shit needs to stop. I'm like, what? Look, I'm not a fan of Islam, but this man is literally doing nothing to harm anyone. The fuck are you talking about, you crazy bitch?
Has anybody ever seen that before?
What's that?
People pray in a restaurant. I've never seen that before. I've been to lots of restaurants. I've never, ever seen people pray at a restaurant. Yeah.
Oh. I see people pray at restaurants all the time.
Really? I've never seen it.
They go, dear God, thank you for this meal.
Really?
Yeah. I see people pray at restaurants. They hold hands before they have a meal. I mean, it's not all the time, but I see it, frequently enough. There are families who will sit there and say their little grace before they have their food.
Never seen that before.
I mean, now maybe some people don't consider that praying, but I figure if you are invoking your deity in some fashion or another to wish well on yourself or others, that's praying. So yeah, that's pretty common.
I just be like, itadakimasu, and then I start eating.
I usually go, please Cthulhu, eat me last, and then I have my food.
In chat there, Midnight Exile says, I've seen truck drivers block traffic, get out and pray to Mecca on the sidewalk. If he was even doing that, blocking traffic, I'd be like, okay,
that's different.
At least get your ass out of it. He's parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
You can actually see traffic go past him. This guy didn't do a fucking thing. Look, freedom of religion exists in this country. And if you don't like it, you're probably in the wrong place.
All right. Well, we got 10 minutes. And so per my usual routine now, how about a short Mad Lib?
Sure.
Right.
Boy, the enthusiasm here is just really motivating me to want to do this. Could you guys at least pretend like you're excited?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll take what I can.
I don't want to get the hiccups again. I'm trying to be calm.
All right. Well, monkey, strangely enough, as I say that, I need an animal.
Sheep.
Is that because of the bestiality thing?
Yes.
Okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Sheepskin.
Okay. Monkey, I need a place.
West Virginia.
Oh my God. I see a pattern forming here. Satsu, I need a noun plural.
Sheepskins. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go with dildos.
All right.
Since we got a theme going on here.
Monkey, I need an adjective.
Throbbing.
Yeah.
Satsu, I need a body part.
Come on, Scribe. Foot.
Yeah, I was about to say. Monkey, I need a noun.
Airplane.
Oh, okay. Satsu, I need a noun.
Screwdriver.
Okay. Monkey, I need a verb ending in ed.
Tossed.
Satsu, I need an adjective.
Sweaty.
Monkey, I need a noun.
Parking meter.
Parking.
All right. Satsu, I need a verb ending in ed.
Planked.
All right. And lastly, monkey, I need an adverb.
Quietly.
Ooh. Short one for this first round. We'll see if we can do another one. A gangsta story.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Tommy the gangsta sheep was walking up the street to his sheepskin in West Virginia. But just as he came inside, he saw that all his gangsta dildos had been replaced with throbbing stuff. He was so mad that he kicked his foot and fell into the airplane. Then, when he got out, he started searching all of the sheepskin. But after 5 hours of looking around, he saw a screwdriver walking around with all his bling. So Tommy stopped the fool and tossed all the items that the screwdriver had stolen from him. Quote, "What's your problem, you sweaty parking meter? If you want to be gangsta, buy your own bling and clothes. Don't steal mine." Tommy planked. And then he went home and lived quietly ever after.
He planked and then went home after saying that.
Calling somebody a parking meter. What's wrong with you?
Did
You
he
get
plank on the parking meter?
I don't know. Okay, we'll do one more because this is very short in relative terms. So make these words matter, guys. Let's see. Okay, I'll leave one of these up to chat. Okay, so I'm going to leave the last one on the list up to chat. I need a person's name, and it can be anybody in the chat or anybody hosting the show, obviously, or anybody that is a friend of the show. Just throw things out there, and I'll randomly pick one after I've gotten all these other ones filled in. So just a person's name, but someone associated with the show. That's the only rule. Satsu, I need a noun plural.
We got to make these count, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go with silicone foot vibrators.
Wow.
Silicone foot vibrators. All right, monkey, I need an adjective.
Fluffy.
Okay, Satsu, I need a noun.
Let's go with the severed vagina foot.
Oh my God. All right. Monkey, I need a noun plural.
Shock collars.
Shot collars?
All right. Satsu, I need a noun plural.
Let me think. A noun plural. Satanic children.
Whoa. That's a couple of words there, but all right, what the hell? Monkey, I need a noun.
Chopstick.
All right. Satsu, I need a verb ending in S.
Stabs.
Oh, all right. Monkey, I need a noun.
Car.
Okay. Satsu, I need a noun plural.
Somebody said chopsticks, so let's go with chopsticks.
Oh, callback. All right. All right, and the last one is a person's name. Going to the chat, I'm going to just scroll up and down, up and down. Also, I missed a couple super chats because they're $2 and YouTube sucks. As Darkshade said, monkey!
Darkshade, what's up?
And Blind Press said, sweaty parking meter is best insult ever.
Sweaty parking meter.
You're a sweaty parking meter.
You sounded so white saying that. You're supposed to be gangster.
I'm not going to
You
try.
sweaty ass motherfucking parking meter.
There you go.
Sweaty parking meter.
Well, I can't help what I am, monkey. All right.
Sweaty
Let's
parking
see.
meter is what you is.
I'm scrolling. Let's see. Who do I see a lot of? I see Frank. I see Polly. I see Sinatra. Oh, Bloodwing. How about Bloodwing? We'll put Bloodwing in there. There we go. We'll do Bloodwing. All right. So here we go. A day at Waste Management. It's another day here at Waste Management, and I can't wait to talk to all of the silicone foot vibrators. I tell you, sometimes these silicone foot vibrators can be very fluffy. Ruth stops by everyone's severed vagina foot and collects everybody's shock collars. Jennifer sits at her desk and clips satanic children in her spare time.
Jesus. She gangster.
Heidi is the customer service chopstick. She stabs new hires how to do their car.
All right.
What?
We had a meeting today about chopsticks. I love Bloodwing. That's it apparently. So there you go. Yeah. I'll save the really long ones with all the other options for when we have guests or more time. But yeah, so there's your
Weekend at Scribes.
weekend. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Me. I don't know if you meant that for like me or you me, but me.
How about we me?
We me? Who's we me?
We me.
We me.
Us
All right.
I.
Well, all that being said, we me or otherwise, it's chat time. So, guys, if you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, if you have certain things that should be outlawed in states where it's not, put in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you just like us to consider, put plenty of statement marks after those. And just a reminder, programming note, tomorrow we will not be on Monkey's channel. We'll be on Satsu's channel for his birthday. And then on Monday, we will be on Monkey's channel rather than Satsu's channel for his birthday. So just keep that in mind and keep an eye on Twitter If you don't have Twitter, just make sure you're subscribed to all three of us, and conceivably YouTube may tell you when we're streaming. It's not guaranteed, but it does happen from time to time.
It's possible.
Impossible. Let's see. No one, nowhere. Anyone notice the Venus ad that had a woman with tats?
No.
No. I don't. What's Venus? Is that like
It's a ladies' razor.
ladies' razor? Okay.
I'm your Venus.
I'm your fire that your desire. Frosted Glass says, have you ever flushed your toilet so that it could be heard on the stream?
Have I?
Not intentionally. Is that something that happens in other streams? I can imagine it happening on Ghost Poo. But not that I know of. I can't recall it ever happening on this show. But there's always a first time, I suppose. Mata Winter says, Lords of the Night, is there a goat in your room?
Possibly.
What?
There may be a goat thrapple around here somewhere, but not that I know of.
No, I mean, I'm the greatest of all time, but otherwise, no.
No. And now my phone beeps at me again. Why is it doing that? That's not good. Okay. Let's see. Mata Winter. I already talked about that. Suicide Grunts of America. Scribe Light. Alex Jones or Rachel Maddow? Who is crazier? Probably Alex Jones, just to be honest. I mean, it depends on what we're talking about in the subject matter, but I think Alex Jones is probably demonstrably a bit more off kilter than Rachel Maddow is. What do you guys think?
I don't.
Wow, that's thanks for your clear and concise answers, guys.
Well, it depends.
Well, I thought he was about to actually say something.
It depends on what you mean by crazier. I mean, I think Alex, a lot of what he does is put on a show and get really, really high.
Mm-hmm.
Where Rachel, I think, actually believes a lot of the crazy she says.
I see. Okay.
So tie, maybe?
Yeah, I guess if there's between the two of them, Rachel Maddow might be the more genuine ideologue.
Right.
I guess might be the way of putting it. But Functional says, great video today, Scribbles. Well, thank you, Functional. I appreciate it. Blind Press says, I just want to say thank you to all who have helped me get to where I am. 7 subs away from 500. Guys,
Nice.
Let's get Blind Press over 500 subs before the stream is out. Go look her up on YouTube. I'm not saying just do it to do it. Do it because you want to, because you like Blind Press and you want to be alerted to when her stuff comes out. But let's try to do that before the stream's out. Blind Press, keep us updated. Check Your Logic says, oh wait, StargazerNet says birthday at Atomic Squid. Scribe Light Ranting Monkey. What? Whose birthday? Atomic Squid's birthday? I don't know. Stargazer says birthday, and then Atomic Squid, and then mentions only me and Monkey, not Satsu. Clarify, please, just to make sure I'm not misreading that. Check Your Logic says, can you tell chat that Chaos Eve is streaming right now? Chat, Chaos Eve is streaming right now. I'm assuming it's either Devil May Cry or maybe Vampire the Masquerade. Oh, she's live streaming Devil May Cry 5. Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I found it. Atomic Squid. It's my birthday. 43 years of flipping Darwin the bird. That's going to bite me eventually. Dude, trust me. You made it longer than I have without it biting you in the ass. But as a fellow 43-year-old, let's sing you a song. How's that sound, gentlemen?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Atomic Squid, this one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Atomic Squid. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one.
Ebony Williams asks, what's the best way to impress a man on a first date?
Blowjob.
Yeah.
Blind press at 502.
Dress nice, depending on the setting. Smell nice, or at
Smell
least
nice is a good one.
Or don't smell badly. You know, I went out on a date one time. It was an internet date, and the girl showed up. So she didn't bother dressing like, even, I mean, it was a casual setting, but she didn't even bother like dressing nicely. She looked all frumpy. She looked kind of like not wanting to be there kind of thing, even after she was the one that wanted to meet. And, you know, look like you want to be there. Now, obviously, if it's a first date and if it's a blind date and you've never seen this person, you know, it's kind of cagey. But if it's like, you know, there was some chemistry and somebody asked you out or you asked them out, make like you want to be there, either in how you dress, how you present yourself. Yeah, that's a good first way to go. Like you're happy to be there in some fashion.
Or blowjob.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag blowjob.
Let's see. Sad Boy says, tomorrow is my little brother's birthday and also Adolf Hitler and also Snoop Dogg.
And also Satsu.
That is true. Oh, wait, you share your birthday with Adolf Hitler?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
That is brought up every year.
I guess so. And my chat jumped again. Sorry, guys. Frosted Glass says, what is a terrible aspect of an otherwise great movie? The ending of Near Dark. The happy ending of Near Dark is the only bad thing about that movie. It's the one thing that's sort of like, when I get to that point in the movie, the last 5 minutes or so, I just usually stop the movie and just say, that's enough. And I make up my own ending, because the ending to that movie, as much as I love that movie, that happy ending they put in there is just terrible. What do you guys think?
I couldn't think about it right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, easily the ending of Blazing Saddles, man.
Okay.
And granted, it's like the last 15 minutes, so it's quite a big portion of it, but it just takes what is a really great satirical film and just turns it into, what the fuck am I even watching right now?
Blind Press says, we did it. Over 500. Yay!
Yay! Congrats.
Congratulations, Blind Press. Okay, I got to jump down again. Sorry, guys. If I missed your question, repost it. I'll do my best. Mata Winter says, as it jumps again, Scribe, are you actually polydub in disguise? Maybe. Mr. Monopoly says, Scribelight, have you seen the 10 Commandments starring Charlton Heston? Yes, many, many moons ago. I think I had to watch it for like a school assignment or something in comparative religions, that kind of thing. I forget exactly. I had to watch like that and Exodus, I think. Something like that. Frosted Glass says, if you could ride any fictional / real animal into battle, what would it be? Battle Cat, of course.
You know what? I saw Lady Monkey had put a short video on her Twitter timeline of a liger. It's this giant fucking cat.
Yes.
And it reminded me of Battle Cat. That's what I want. I want a real live Battle Cat.
Battle Cat was great. Satsu?
I would ride in on a Rathalos from Monster Hunter.
You know, we might actually get to see a full version of Battle Cat, because apparently they're making a He-Man movie, an actual live-action He-Man movie. And a couple of years ago, I saw some concept art for a potential like He-Man movie. And whoever did that art, and I wish I could find it again, they made Battle Cat look like a fucking, I mean, like literally and figuratively, a beast. I was like, that is the coolest looking Battle Cat I've ever seen. So if they do actually end up making this He-Man movie, I hope that's at least cool. I hope they stick to the cartoons and just abandon trying to make it quote unquote real, like the Masters of the Universe movie. Don't send them to LA. Bad. Don't send them to Los Angeles. Please don't send them to another planet and try to make it cheap. Just place it in Eternia, make it Eternia.
Send them to San Francisco.
No, poop everywhere. Yeah, great.
That way Battle Cat can shit on the field and nobody will know.
Let's see. RJ Bandsma, Scribe Light. Does Monkey rant more than John Oliver when he hasn't had his tea? I don't watch John Oliver. I mean, he's on like HBO or something now. I occasionally see a clip, I guess, of his stuff, but I haven't seen John Oliver with any regularity in a long time.
He doesn't even rant, that prissy bitch.
No.
He preaches. That's different. Fuck him.
Slovenly Gulf City American. Happy Waco Day. Oh, that's right. Today's the anniversary of Waco and the Oklahoma City bombing. Yeah, I think it was the anniversary. I think that was one of the reasons they did it on the day they did. It was the anniversary of Waco. Well, anyway, let's see. Missed a couple. Celtic Mandalore. What animal makes the best sigil? Sigil? I see like griffins and like birds of prey in some fashion are used a lot in like coats of arms and things.
I was thinking like they were the ones who actually made them. So I'm going with humans.
Har. As far as like what makes the best, I don't know. I guess it's a personal preference kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. No fucking idea.
Frosted Glass. You have to recast one horror icon with Gilbert Gottfried. Who is it?
Jason.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh, you know what? Chucky.
I was about to say
Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that would be
Gilbert Gottfried as Chucky would be perfect.
That would be awesome.
That would be perfect.
That'd be great. Otherwise, Dr. Giggles. Nobody remembers Dr. Giggles, but I do.
How about the clown
Hellraiser?
Hellraiser could be good.
Yeah. Gilbert Gottfried is Pinhead. Yeah. It's like, we're gonna tear your soul apart. Let's see. What else? Yeah, that's a good Freddy Krueger. Dr. Giggles was great, says Midnight Exile. No, Dr. Giggles was not great. It was memorably bad. But the guy who played Dr. Giggles, whose name suddenly escapes me, he played Robert Durant in Darkman, and he also played Benny Stolwitz in L.A. Law. And I always liked that actor. I always thought he was really cool. And I'm suddenly forgetting his name, which I usually don't, but that's just the way it is right now. Let's see. Frosted Glass asks, have any of you seen the Mandalorian footage, and do you have any hope for it? I have seen the Mandalorian footage. I am cautiously optimistic, first and foremost because Jon Favreau is show running that deal. And if there's anything I will always thank Jon Favreau for, it's Iron Man and the initiation of the Marvel Universe and his love for the source material. Okay. I actually own a copy of the very first appearance of Iron Man. So when that movie came out, I was hoping they would do it justice. And boy, howdy, they did that original story justice. The fact that Jon Favreau has been involved in Star Wars and specifically Mandalorians during the Clone Wars animated series, when I heard that he was going to be doing a show for Star Wars, I was already optimistic because he cares about the source canon. He cares about, the actual franchise and the setting and everything else. And so the footage that I saw made me very happy in the isolated form it was. So it is one of the reasons that I may try out Disney Plus when it comes out. Have you guys seen the footage?
I have not, and I have no hope for it because it's Star Wars in its current incarnation. So no.
Satsu?
No, I don't. I don't care.
I gotta say, as a glimpse inside the non-Jedi underworld of Star Wars, it is sitting right in the territory that I'd hoped to see some stuff done for Star Wars for years now, especially after 1313 got canceled. So I'm optimistic. I'm hoping to just ignore the new trilogy of movies, kind of like the prequel trilogy, and just enjoy the setting and other things people come up with But it is going to be a journey because I have been very deflated in my Star Wars enthusiasm over the last couple of years. Anyway, Duck Dog, Larry Drake. That's what Larry Drake was. Benny Stolwitz and Dr. Giggles and all that. Mr. Monopoly asked, Satsu 2 cents, what are you doing for your birthday?
I don't know. There's this seafood place that I wanted to go to, and I was doing some research on it, checking it out. I know I'll be streaming, obviously Lords of the Night, but I was thinking about doing like a stream beforehand. But other than that, I didn't really have any plans, honestly.
Okay. RJ Bansma, Scribe Light, worst villain in animation ever? Walt Disney. Was that too meta?
I think so.
Just a little bit.
Worst villain in animation. God, I don't know. Ranger Smith from Yogi Bear. I don't know.
Shit, I couldn't tell you. That's an interesting one.
Sad Boy says, Scribelight, do you think Ubisoft will ever make a good Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six game? Because Siege isn't Rainbow Six to me. I've never played Rainbow Six, but I know people who are big fans of the franchise, and especially like the early years of the franchise when it was all about pre-planning and setting everything up. I mean, it's one of those things where it's sort of like old school flight simulators or TIE Fighter, the game where it's like there was no easy mode. It was not about making it a cakewalk for people. It was about a game that required reflex and skill and planning and everything else. That's the kind of Rainbow Six I know the purists want. I don't know if Ubisoft cares about that anymore so much as mass appeal. So I don't know. Probably not, but stranger things have happened. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Just downloaded KOTOR 1 and 2. About to have some fun. For KOTOR 2, be sure to get the restoration project mod that restores a whole bunch of stuff. I think it comes free with Steam. I think Steam automatically gives you the option to install it. If it doesn't, be sure to look that up and figure out how to install that before you play KOTOR 2, because it helps out a lot, filling in a whole bunch of gaps that were left over when the publisher rushed the production. So the Sith Lords Restoration Project mod is what you want to get. It's great. Let's see. Check Your Logic says, why do you guys mispronounce question marks?
What?
I don't know. It just says, why do you guys mispronounce? And then a whole bunch of question marks. I don't know what that means. Oh, there you go. Scrolling up a little bit because I said Frosted Glass says, if you had to recast any sci-fi icon with Tommy Wiseau, who is it? Lawnmower Man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the dude who made The Room, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know any. All I know is he's a weird dude on Twitter. I've never seen The Room, so sorry.
No, Diesel Dave says I'm an Xbox peasant. Oh, you got it on Xbox? Oh, well. Oh, well. KOTOR 2 is still an entertaining game until the very end of the vanilla version, because then it kind of falls apart in places. But I don't know. They can have mods on Xbox, can't they? Or am I?
Some games.
Some games. Well, check it out. Maybe. I don't know. I know on Steam they kind of make the restoration patch or mod part of the package. But do you have any sci-fi Tommy Wiseau suggestions, Satsu?
No.
Okay. Actually, Tommy Wiseau as the bad guy emperor, whatever, from Last Starfighter, with the forehead and the tiara around his head. That guy. Diesel Dave says 1 was better. Yes, KOTOR 1 is considerably better. It's a complete game. and also a little bit more concise. KOTOR 2 has a lot of depth to it if you get involved in a lot of the conversations and the philosophy, especially with Kreia. Kreia is, out of both KOTOR games, probably the best written and most interesting character of all of the companions. But you really have to listen to what she says, and there's a lot going on there. More of that is restored with the mod. And the mod, restoring a whole bunch of stuff, and some other people sort of pointing some things out to me, made me respect the writing behind Kreia and a whole bunch of other things in KOTOR 2 more. So KOTOR 2 is still a great game. It's just that a lot of the design of the levels and difficulty and stuff starts to break down the further you get into it, because it's obvious they rushed the last third of it, which is unfortunate. Like the last base or level or whatever is so blocky and hallway to box rooms. It's just so obvious that was just a rush job, and it's really sad. But yeah, KOTOR 1's great. Diesel Dave says, still love HK47. There's a whole interesting story behind how they got away with making HK47 act the way he did. The attitude that character has was initially rejected by the people at the game studio, so it almost didn't happen, but there's a whole background to that. It's great. Let's see. Mr. Monopoly says, Scribe, do you lift weights? Yes, I do, actually. So there you go. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night, have you eaten potato breakfast cereal before? You mean
No.
Wait, no. I was about to make a joke about hash browns, but that doesn't make any sense. RJ Bands with Scribe, favorite 90s sitcom. Oh God, probably Married with Children.
Yeah, they got into the 90s there a bit. Yeah, probably them.
If not
Well,
that,
Friends. I love Friends. And I know that doesn't make me cool with the cool kids, but yeah, I love Friends. So
I never really watched Friends all that much. Sitcom. I did like Home Improvement. I know it's kind of a cheese, but I did like Home Improvement quite a bit at the time. For the early seasons especially.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
I didn't like
Friends, but sorry, what?
Back when I was that age, I didn't really watch a lot of them because I was into other stuff. But pretty much all the ones you named, I've seen and enjoyed. And then Squishy's making me realize that I actually kind of like Frasier, because she's been watching it, she's been marathoning it.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, man, I actually really like this show.
Yeah, I watched Frasier because I'd watched Cheers with my parents, and I knew about Frasier from Frasier's a spinoff from Cheers, and David Hyde Pierce, who plays Niles, and the writing on that show was really good for the first few seasons. I didn't watch it religiously, but I did like that show. Yeah. Let's see. The layman says, "How is the vampire tabletop RPG stream idea coming along, Scribe?" Yeah, that kind of died on the vine. my vampire mania hit a lull. It's something that's, I don't know if it's unique to me or anything, but it happens to me quite a bit. There's a few select genres or subjects or whatever that I'll get really intensely interested in for a while, and unless I have something sort of external fueling that, it'll eventually pass, and I'll get stuck on something else. It'll eventually come back around. It's very cyclical. But with the vampire stuff, in the past, I had a gaming group and a LARP game and everything that kept that very fresh in my mind. Not so much anymore. I dabbled around with a couple of ideas and trying to do a game online with some people, but it kind of fell out of interest. So maybe I'll try again in the future, but not in the immediate future. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Cheers was awesome. Yeah, Cheers was a great show. I think it kind of took a dip when Kirstie Alley took over.
Yeah,
that was really the line of demarcation of quality, I think, of the show, because the dynamic between Ted Danson and what's her name that I'm suddenly forgetting, the blonde, was great, and Kirstie Alley wasn't so much.
I want to say Shelley something.
It wasn't Shelley Duvall. It was Shelley something. Yes,
she was Diane on the show.
Yes, Diane. Yeah.
Who played her? She was in The Money Pit with
Shelley
Tom
Long.
Hanks.
Shelley Long. There we go. Let's see. Thank you, Diesel Dave. Again, I used to watch it with my grandma. Yeah, Yeah, Cheers is one of those shows that kind of transcended age groups. As long as you, I mean, even though I was a kid, I still liked hearing everybody go Norm.
Oh yeah.
That was always great. It just the kind of sense of things. Let's see, Sarah Plyer, thoughts on Golden Girls? I actually like Golden Girls.
I love Golden Girls.
Golden Girls is hilarious. I used to watch it with my parents. That and Empty Nest.
Empty Nest was awesome.
Yeah, Empty Nest was great. There was a lot of spin-offs. Oh yeah, I even liked Wings. The first couple seasons of Wings I watched, and I liked that show too. But yeah, Golden Girls is always hilarious. It was so, and you don't really see that anymore. I can't think of a sitcom where all the actors are middle-aged or older for all the main characters. So that was kind of a unique situation, and they carried that show. I tell you what. So.
Oh yeah.
It was great. Who remembers the Golden Girl? I remember the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, I remember Golden Girls.
Blanche Dubois. I don't know what her name is.
Blanche. That is like the dumbest name to name any human.
Blanche.
I hate. I'm just like, who the fuck would name a human Blanche?
That's an old lady name, man.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
RJ Bansma says, Sarah Plyer, I still watch Golden Girls. Sophia is funny. They were all funny. That was a great show. Great writing, great acting. The chemistry between all the characters was just peak. It was great.
Yeah, one of the few shows where I liked everyone. I'm just like, they're all likable.
Yep.
Scribe Light, how many spin-offs came from Cheers? I think only Frasier. I don't think anybody. I think they tried to do a spin-off with Norm and Cliffy in some fashion. I have some vague memory that they attempted that, but I don't know if it got past the pilot stage or something. So maybe. Thank you, Diesel Dave. My parents have been driving since I was 8, so my grandma raised us. I think you mentioned that on the stream. I could be mistaken. Let's see. Mata Winter. Are any Golden Girls still alive? Betty White's still alive.
She's older.
Is she the only one?
I think she might. I think Estelle Getty passed away.
Yeah.
B. Arthur passed away. I don't know about the lady who played Blanche. I'm pretty sure she must have passed away by now. I think Betty White's probably the last one. Let's see. Sean says the lady who played Blanche was also on Maude. Well, there was a lot of crossover between things like Soap and Maude into the Golden Girls. A lot of actors came over from there. Because B. Arthur was in Maude. I think she was Maude, wasn't she?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. One to Hannah. Rue McClanahan is dead. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, if you think Blanche is a horrible name, try naming a kid Maud.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Duck Dog says Betty White was the oldest of the bunch too. Yeah, which is weird because Estelle Getty played the oldest character there, even though she was younger than Betty White. I guess it was, if I remember correctly. Maybe maybe I'm misremembering. I think that's what it was, by the way. Faithless says Herman's Head. Oh God!
Oh wow!
Yeah, Herman's Head. If you want to talk about like Inside Out or no, In and Out. What is that that animated movie where the girl has all the voices in her head or whatever, all the characters?
Animated movie? Oh.
Yeah, Inside Out. I think
was it Inside Out? Okay, yeah, whatever that was. Yeah, that was the precursor to that. Herman's Head was weird, but that was a great show. Novel show. Let's see. Maud Flanders says Mr. Monopoly. Max Headroom, man. You want to talk about like you can find the first episode / pilot movie of Max Headroom on YouTube. At it for its time, and it was a BBC production at the time before they changed a bunch of stuff and made it a series. That little pilot / movie was. And still is really. I mean, it's a little antiquated in some of the technology, obviously, but it's a great little cyberpunk show. Very dark and gritty, especially before they Americanized it. I didn't really realize what Max Headroom was as a show because all I knew was the character as a spokesman for like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or
Coke.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was Coke.
Yeah, but if you actually watch the pilot episode, and again, it's on YouTube. It's actually very dark, kind of very gritty, dystopian, cyberpunkish future. It's very kind of cool. Faithful says Drew Carey Show. Drew Carey Show was great too.
Yeah, I used to watch.
A lot of really good shows back then.
And that got really stale after a while.
Yeah, it was only good for the first like 2 or 3 seasons. This is true for a lot of shows if they don't
Sure.
somehow change things up. You know what is a really, really interesting show? The John Larroquette Show. The first season of the John Larroquette Show was this. It was almost like sitcom noir because it was a very dark, sort of semi-amoral sitcom. It was about a recovering alcoholic running a bus station for the night shift and all these sort of quasi, sort of almost like classic hard-boiled characters from like crime novels and things. The first season of the John Larroquette Show was really, really good. And then for the second season, they tried to lighten things up and it kind of went, But yeah, that was a great show. RJ Banzma, Scribe Light, is Monkey a little like Al Bundy?
Probably.
And with that, guys, we're at the top of the hour and the end of the show. So
Hooray.
Monkey is Al Bundy. That's all you need to know. Everyone, thank you.
Al Monkey.
Al Monkey. There you go. Al Monkey. Chat, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight, as you always do. You guys are the greatest audience in the world. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world. And everyone who donated, I really do appreciate your generosity. It will go towards Dr. Pepper as soon as my store restocks with Dr. Pepper. And again, remember, guys, tomorrow night we will be on Satsu's channel, not Monkey's channel, for Satsu's birthday. So be prepared to wish him happy birthday, or you'll regret it.
That's right.
And also on Monday, we will be on Monkey's channel, not Satsu's channel, for Monkey's birthday.
Yes.
And I think that's all the news that's fit to print. And also, yeah, if you haven't already, go take a look at Blind Press's channel. I know she's already hit 500, but hell, maybe we can get her to like 550 or something before the day's out. And otherwise, yeah, so remember, tomorrow night, Satsu's channel, same Lords of the Night time. And with that, I guess, yeah. Oh, and over on 2 Cents Plus, sorry, just after the stream, 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Satsu will be playing, I believe, the conclusion of the Borderlands Remastered.
Yes.
Okay, so Borderlands Remastered over on 2 Cents Plus just after this. So go check that out in a few minutes. And with that, Satsu, Monkey, thank you for joining me as always.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make us sad. And we will see you tomorrow on Satsu's channel.
Bye, guys.
So again, I'm pulling out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism. And today's secret word is orchestra.
By the way, I'm turning 29. People keep asking.